Alright, hey, so what's up, everybody? I am attempting to make a video. I've never done this before, but I figured this might be helpful for some people. I bought this X-Scorpion battery terminal with a digital readout, and this is the packaging label, and I got it in, and I wasn't quite sure how it grounded or whatnot, and then when I got it, I realized that it came with these three wires that come off the back. Now it's a power, a ground, and a remote turn on, much like a car amplifier would be, and that's all specifically for the digital readout, for the voltage monitor. This is, let's see if I can pop this apart with one hand. Alright, bear with me 1 second. Alright, so this is the cover, comes right off of it, and then this is the with the digital readout. So I felt like most people probably, when they get these, they just put the remote turn on wire and the power into the same spot and then ground it, and then it's always lit up with the digital display. To me, that seemed kind of silly, because eventually, like, if you don't drive the car for like a week or something like that, you're probably just going to pop the hood to see that you don't have any power. So I decided to come up with a better way, and this will be a two-part video. I just decided to mock this up in my bedroom, and I've already done all of the hard work, but what I decided to do was to make this so that when you pop the hood, the digital display comes on, but when the hood is closed, it's off. And that's not something that I learned from the manufacturer or anything else. It's just an idea that I had, and I think I've made it work pretty well. So what I decided to do was to drill a hole into the core support, and the next part will be installation. But this is a brake light switch. I think it's actually for like a 92 Corolla. But it's a very universal style. So what I did, I used some insulated connectors and did a bunch of heat shrink wrap, and just used a couple pieces of scrap wire. Then, I put this wire loom on it, and it's amazingly difficult to do with one hand, but just try to loom it up, make it look pretty. The reason mainly for the loom is that I'm going to run this underneath the, let's see if I can kickstand this. I'm going to run this underneath the battery tray, because it will be coming from the other side of the battery. I also decided to incorporate a plug for it, which I'll show you here in just a second, if I can get this wire back in the loom. So this is a plug, and it's really a simple one. It's actually intended for drop ceiling lighting, for the 120 variety, but it works just fine for this. I mean, we're talking about connecting less than 1 amp of power. So the idea is to drill a hole into the core support, which would be located somewhere around here. And so when the hood closes, it depresses the button and turns the digital display off. So I've already wired up this side, and the plug obviously on this end too, and heat shrink wrap, and I've got it powered so that one of the wires connects to one side, the blue one, and then the red and the other blue one go to another butt connector that's inside there and just come out and into this wire that easily goes back into the terminal, because this is where I'm going to put my amp wire into here. So the two factory wires will be going into this side. So I'm going to pause for just a second, and I'm going to hook up the ground over here. I'm just going to crimp it on. So bear with me for just one moment. Alright, so I just used a pair of small vice grips to put the ground on there. Now that'll be obviously chassis grounded once I mount it in the car. This will be a two-part video. The first part is just kind of the initial mock-up. But so now I've got everything ready to go here, and this is just obviously sitting on here, just a halfway charged battery sitting inside my bedroom. So now that I am at this point, I'm going to take this, well, hard to do with one hand, but so this end of the plug, and obviously plug it into the other end of the plug. So you can see that once this is plugged together, and like I said, I'm going to run this underneath the battery tray. That's why I have this nice loom on it, and this will be somewhere over here in the core support. But once the battery, once the plug's plugged in, it completes the circuit, and let's see, I'll do it this way. So this with the brake light switch here, this is gonna, by depressing this, that's gonna simulate the hood being closed. So see, as soon as I push it down, actually once it gets about halfway down, even, it doesn't have to be fully depressed, but it knocks the power out. And then see, it comes back on gradually. This battery's not fully charged, only 11.6 volts, well 11.7, but that's the idea. So the next video, and this will all be posted together, but this is in two separate phases. But yeah, I think this is the coolest way to do it, and probably why I found this thing on eBay for 15 bucks, because nobody's thought of this before. So hopefully right at the end of this, you'll be seeing the next video.